All right, we are back to business here. Business meaning a business laptop. Although this looks like anything but a business laptop. This is the HP EliteBook Ultra G1i. The I stands for Intel. Running Lunar Lake here, the Core Ultra 7 268V. This is the one with V Pro. This also has Intel Arc 140V graphics. So very, very good stuff here. Good battery life, although I would say because of this is a 2.8K OLED display, a very glossy display, but it is an excellent display nonetheless. 120 hertz, variable refresh rate, really gorgeous colors, the deep blacks, the super vibrant colors, it's all there. It's got pretty thin bezels. This is a very thin and light device. It's got a pretty nice keyboard, although a little bit on the shallow side, but good nonetheless in terms of the tactility, heat travel. Now, battery life, like I said, it's going to be good for what this is as far as an OLED display, thin and light. I think it's a 64 watt-hour battery, so it's not the biggest battery out there, but we're seeing over 12 hours on mixed use. So pretty good considering what kind of display this has. High res, high refresh rate display. It's a touchscreen display, so it's multi-touch, and it worked out pretty well. It's got a really great haptic touchpad that supports gesture control for volume and for brightness. It's also very responsive, and the overall build and construction is really good. This is thin, this is light. It's got the atmosphere blue finish on here, so it's a really gorgeous overall laptop. And I gotta say, it is looking pretty good. And you can see here that absolutely gorgeous finish here, atmosphere blue. It does collect a little bit of fingerprints, but I would say overall, it has been a really nice laptop. We'll get into the performance, we'll get into the battery numbers and more specifics. We'll get into the thermals and everything else in this business focused convertible, well, not convertible, the clamshell. But I will say it comes in at a pretty high price. We'll get into that and more in this review. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the HP EliteBook Ultra G1i, brand new for 2025. Coming up. Now, this is a very thin and light laptop. It only weighs 1.189 kilograms. That's 2 pounds, 9.9 ounces for just the laptop alone. Add in the power charger, the power cord, and the USB Type-C cable. 3 pounds, 1.9 ounces. And that comes in at 1.415 kilograms for a total travel weight, making this a very portable package to take with you on the go. All right, let's check out the port selection. On the left side is a 3.5 millimeter microphone headphone combo jack, a USB Type-A port, and a Thunderbolt 4 port that supports 40 gigabits per second. It is also full function, supporting data, charge, and display out. On the right side are two more USB Type-C Thunderbolt 4 ports. So you get a total of 3, also full function. Love the fact that these are split up, 2 on the right, 1 on the left, so that is more convenient than other laptops. And you get a Kensington lock port to round it out. Notably missing, no micro SD card reader, no HDMI either. Now, as far as the internals, as you can see, this has dual fans for cooling. It also has an M.2 2280 SSD, and as you can see from the reads and writes, it's very fast in terms of what you need this laptop to do, so that's great, and it is user upgradable. You also get the battery here. We'll talk about battery in a little bit, and you also get the Wi-Fi 7 Bluetooth combo card that is soldered in, not upgradable by the user, but the good news is Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth both working flawlessly. Now, my review unit has 32 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM running at the very fast 8533 megatransfers per second, and it is running in dual channel mode. Now, of course, 32 is the most you can do with Lunar Lake. That is not a limitation set by HP, but the chipset in general. Now, of course, this is integrated in the system on a chip with Lunar Lake, so it's not upgradable by the user, but most users will be perfectly fine with 32 gigabytes of memory. All right, let's talk about the star of the show, and that would be its 2.8K OLED or OLED display, and it runs at 120 hertz. It's a variable refresh rate, so that is looking good. So you can get that very smooth, very fluid experience. Now, with any OLED display, you're looking at really deep blacks, super vibrant colors, really high contrast. It's all there. And of course, you get excellent coverage of the color gamut. It is also color accurate. So if you're going to do content creation with this display, this will get the job done. It does a great job in terms of that. Now, of course, with any OLED display, you'll have to worry about PWM, although it wasn't bad on this unit. I measured PWM flickering at about 480 hertz, so not too bad. And as far as screen burn-in, if you leave a static image long enough with an OLED display, you might run into screen burn-in down the road. That is not the case here. I did not run into any screen burn-in in the use that I've had it so far. I've had about a month or so, but of course, I also had that pre-production prototype, and that didn't experience any screen burn-in either. So they do a good job in preventing that. And I think overall the fidelity, quality of this OLED display is evident. Now, this is a bright display. I measured 390 nits in standard dynamic range, so it's nearly the 400 claimed. And of course, in HDR can peak over 600 nits is what I measured when watching high dynamic range content in Netflix, Amazon, YouTube. This certainly does not disappoint when it comes to brightness. Now, one thing to note, it is a glossy display, so you will notice some glare and reflections depending on your lighting conditions. But overall, this is an excellent panel. They chose a really good one, although if they went with an IPS display, will get better battery life. We'll talk about that later in this video, but I will tell you, battery life is good, not great, because of this OLED display. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Now, it is also a multi-touch display, so navigating the OS with your fingers, pinch to zoom, all worked very well. Good responsiveness when it comes to the touch layer. All right, let's talk performance, and this is running the Intel Lunar Lake processor, the Core Ultra 7 268V. This is the one with V Pro, 8 cores, 8 threads. We've seen it before, and as you can see from the single and multi-core performance, as we'd expect with Lunar Lake, it's not going to win any speed awards here, never speed tests here, but it is very good for Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, doing everyday tasks. You will not have any issues in both single and multi-core performance. In real-world usage, you will not notice any difference whatsoever from any of the other chipsets. I guarantee you that. Now, as far as the graphics here, we're looking at the Intel Arc 140V graphics. We've seen it before, although this one is a little bit less. They tamed it down a little bit for the thermals and for the battery life, obviously. So it's going to be perfectly fine to play some games. If you lower some of the settings, you'll get some playable frame rates, but overall, pretty decent integrated solution as we've been seeing with Lunar Lake in general. Now, as far as thermals are concerned, I didn't notice any thermal throttling when I ran the Temps by stress test, which is great. And the surface temperatures remained very cool. Didn't get overly hot in terms of where you place your fingers on the keyboard. The underside got around 49, 50 degrees Celsius when put under load, but when doing everyday tasks, it was not an issue in terms of heat. And as far as fan noise, this is probably one of the quietest laptops out there. That's what HP went for on this. And of course, they wanted you to have a quiet experience, especially when doing work, productivity, all that stuff. And definitely they achieved that. So pretty cool and quiet overall. Now, when it comes to battery, we're looking at a 64 watt-hour battery, and I got 14 hours and 44 minutes on the PC Mark 10 Modern Office test, did 14 hours, 37 minutes on the video playback, and on a full load gaming test, 2 hours, 19 minutes. And of course, I think we're not seeing quite as good battery life with this Lunar Lake as others in the category due to the fact that this has that 3K or 2.8K OLED display running at 120 hertz. If you lower the refresh rate down, you will get better battery life, but definitely decent battery numbers here, the fact that it does have such a high refresh rate, high resolution display. And I love the fact they supply you with a very compact 65 watt USB Type-C power adapter, and it supports fast charging this in very, very fast time. So very good overall for a charging system. Now, when it comes to the keyboard, I actually like it a lot, but there's one thing holding it back from being a really excellent keyboard, and that would be the key travel. It's a bit on the shallow side for my liking. I kind of like the X1 Carbon's key travel a little bit better than what we're getting here on this EliteBook Ultra. That being said, typing out documents, emails, and the like work very well, despite having a little bit shallow key travel for my liking, and a good tactility and overall good feedback. And now it does have a multi-stage backlight. That's going to allow you to get work done in a dark room, dimly lit environment. Now, Now, as far as the function row, that's a lighter color key, so that's going to be easy to differentiate, as well as the power button. That's also a light blue, so you're able to see that pretty easily as well. Now, as far as the touchpad, it's a nicely sized haptic touchpad, and it worked well. The haptic engine worked well when it comes to scrolling, doing all the gestures. The overall feedback was very good, and it also supports gesture control for volume and for brightness. So I like having that. That's pretty convenient, and the overall haptic touchpad implementation here is excellent. So this is the Polycamera Pro app, by the way. This is a very good communications app that HP's developed, probably the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. It's just easy to use, rich with features and so forth. Now we're looking at a 9 megapixel IR webcam. That means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello. And of course, it also has a physical shutter switch above the camera for more security and privacy. You can see it also has the auto framing. Yeah, that's working pretty well. So it has all sorts of features here. So you can do the watermark is what we have here. And then, of course, we have the meet and greet. We have the blank format here. We got off camera. We've got anywhere studio. Now I can change the background. This is the Moody City. I can do cafe. I can do living room. I can do office. So there's plenty of options. You can put your own. So I think this is working out pretty well. But of course, you could do your normal with the watermark or without it. It's up to you. So what do you think about the video quality? And maybe most importantly, what do you think about the audio quality? Let me know in the comments section below. Okay, I'm able to get Ubuntu Linux working on here. So a couple of caveats here. The haptic touchpad here is not working. I feel the haptic engine working, but it's not registering with the mouse settings here. So not working in terms of that. So I connected via Bluetooth to my MX mouse here, MX Master Logitech mouse, and that's working perfectly. Everything else seems to be working. The Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth. Let me see the camera here. Let's see if that's working. And yes, it is working. There it is. So everything seems to be working except the touchpad. Now, it is a touch screen, so I can open things with my finger here. Obviously the touch screen is working here. Failed to mount that. But overall, this is definitely working in terms of everything. Firefox is working here. So overall, pretty good. And as you can see, the touchscreen working there. So it is looking like Linux is a sort of winner here. Again, I'd like to find out how to get the drivers here for the touchpad. If I can get that working, then we'll be perfectly fine here with Linux. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. Now, when it comes to audio, this is audio by Poly Studio. We're looking at quad speakers here, and I thought the overall volume was good, mids were good, decent bass. Overall, for an ultra-portable clamshell, a very good audio experience. Of course, it also has a headphone jack for those that need it. Bluetooth headphones are an option here as well. So the speakers here are great for watching movies, Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, or video conferencing as well. So overall, pretty good, but of course, you be the judge. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, let's give it a listen. All right, let's talk about the price. Yes, it is very expensive, like most laptops here in 2025. No exception here, coming in with a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $3,849. I expect that to be on sale at some point. Who knows? Of course, check the link in the description below for the latest pricing. But yes, this is prohibitively expensive for the average consumer. But this is not geared towards the average consumer, but rather the business market. And businesses tend to buy these in bulk and will receive discounts from HP. HP. So just keep that in mind. But yes, for the average person here, that's a lot of money to pay for a laptop, no doubt about it. All right, people, let's bring it all home. And I really like the HP EliteBook Ultra G1i here for 2025. A great business executive type laptop, a very good business focused laptop. So it's got really good system performance. It's got a thin and light design. It also looks really nice in that blue color, runs cool and quiet. It's got an excellent 14-inch OLED display, 120 hertz with a variable refresh rate, 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports. It's got Wi-Fi 7, a really nice 9-megapixel webcam with a shutter switch, and it has a very good haptic touchpad for input here. Very, very good. Now, of course, RAM is not upgradable, no SD card reader. It does exhibit screen wobble when typing. I would like them to tighten that up. And of course, it does have PWM with this OLED technology. Some people are sensitive to that. Shallow key travel on the keyboard. I'd like to see it a little bit better, although it is a good keyboard. Not bad, actually. And it also is very expensive, although companies tend to buy these in bulk and will receive discounts from HP. But I really like this outing here from HP. It's an excellent choice, especially if you're looking for a business laptop that can pretty much do it all and have a really excellent display on it. Now, there are a few things they could improve on, but overall, a really good outing here by HP. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. And if you're a casual viewer of my content, why not hit that subscribe button? It doesn't cost anything, and we're making our big push for 250,000 subscribers. We're on our way. Tremendous growth here this year, so I want to thank everybody for the tremendous amount of support. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.